Hello, radio fans, and welcome to another edition of RadioShots, the very best of the entire radio world in one bite-sized show right to your ears. We've listened to thousands of hours of radio, picked the very best, and it's coming straight ahead. I'm your host, Michael Robertson, along with Mark Wooten. How you doing, Mark?
Great.
And we have some fantastic clips today. We'll, of course, have our shot of the week, which is the very best clip, and also our pot shot of the week, which is the craziest out there, and we've got one that is truly out there.
Yeah.
That's coming up. But we're going to start off with some actual news. True
Breaking
story.
news.
Breaking news. This is off of KGO out of San Francisco. Let's take a listen.
In the Mythbusters show, they try to prove or disprove all kinds of wacky things. In the shooting of this episode,
the myth was whether or not a stone cannonball could actually breach a castle's walls.
Well, they say a man's home is his castle, and in this case, it was the Shetty family, whose house has 2 cannonball-sized holes in it. Mythbuster co-host Adam Savage and his partner Jamie Heineman went to the Shetty family home today to say,
"We're deeply sorry for this happening. This is the worst thing we can imagine happening. I have kids of my own. I have a house of my own. I can't imagine how angry I would be to find this happening to it."
Happening to it entails a cannonball that first struck the pavement, dodged through the front door, then up and out a rear wall. The Mythbuster duo says something went terribly wrong while filming at the nearby Alameda Sheriff's Department gun range, a location they routinely use for their various demonstrations. They won't be shooting cannonballs anymore. Jeffrey Schaub, KGO 810.
So there you go. I mean, what is going to happen to their insurance premiums at Mythbusters when they explain to their insurance adjuster that, yes, we accidentally shot a cannonball through a house?
That's a crazy story.
Usually they're very cautious, right? I've seen the show. They have the safety glasses and the range, but wow.
I can't wait for that show. I mean, they're going to have to show what happened on that thing. And I mean, that range where they're blowing stuff up, you'd figure it was a long way. I think they really confirmed that myth instead of busting it, didn't they?
They sure did. Well, they busted the house to confirm the myth.
Exactly.
Right now, I take it you watch Mythbusters, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know what? There's been some studies out, and we're going to hear about them, about Republicans versus Democrats. What do they watch? What don't they like? It turns out that Republicans like Mythbusters. Let's hear more of the shows that Republicans and liberals like from the Mark and Brian show out of KLOS in Los Angeles.
Well, it seems that Republicans and Democrats, believe it or not, don't watch the same TV shows.
I mean, yeah.
A survey was taken. It found that Republicans don't watch MTV, Jersey Shore, but they do dig ABC's Castle. Democrats don't like Discovery's Deadliest Catch, but they enjoy NBC's Parks and Recreation. According to the survey, liberals enjoy sarcastic, media-savvy comedies and morally murky anti-heroes. Conservatives love serious, work-centered shows, both reality shows and stylized scripted shows, along with reality competition. So here are the Democrats' favorite TV shows. They like, Democrats do, The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. They like 30 Rock and Parks and Recreation. They like The View. They like Glee. They like Modern Family. Democrats like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
It's a funny show.
I'm just now getting into it.
Really
it
out
is.
there, yeah.
Yeah, it's way out there, but really good.
Danny DeVito.
Real smart. Democrats also like Cougar Town. All right. And they also like, as far as late night talk, they like the David Letterman Show and Late Night with Craig Ferguson. Conservative Republicans enjoy Swamp Loggers. The gritty documentary-style work-related reality shows. The Bachelor, Castle, Mythbusters, Only in America with Larry the Cable Guy, American Pickers, Pawn Stars, and Swamp People. I saw an ad for that Swamp People. I don't think it's for me. They also like Republicans like The Middle, The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, The Biggest Loser, Hawaii Five-0, NCIS, and The Mentalist.
So there you go. Some of those shows I don't know. Like what's the Philadelphia one? What's that?
Oh, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a wacky show.
Never seen it. Never seen.
I've
Swamp
watched 5
People.
minutes and it was very twisted. Yeah.
So there you go. You can tell political affiliation by what's on their DVR. And speaking of DVR, all of the shows that you're hearing are clips from DAR.FM. DAR is a digital audio recorder. It lets you record radio shows from across the United States. You can record them all on your computer. Actually, you don't even need a computer. You go to a computer to set it up. The recording happens. You can listen wherever you like. You can listen at home, listen at work, even have the shows downloaded. And that's, of course, where we get all of our clips is from DAR.FM.
Yep.
And it's free. So if you are a radio fan, you hear a show that you like that we've talking about, go record it at DAR.FM.
Exactly.
All right, now on to Fitz on the Wolf out of Seattle, talking about a very innovative but controversial Facebook campaign.
This might be the most messed up or interesting advertising campaign ever. It's a company in Brazil called, well, we're going to change some wording here, but it's called Ola Prophylactics, okay? Ola Prophylactics wanted to get more men to use their product, so they went with an unexpected babies campaign. Here's what they did. They targeted a group of guys on Facebook, created phony Facebook profiles for each guy's unborn child. They then sent the guys friend requests from their fake unborn kid. Each unborn fetus was given the name of the dad. For example, they would always put Junior after it. So you would get a Facebook request from Fitz Jr. is what you would do. And underneath the friend request was the message, avoid surprises like this one. Use Ola Prophylactics.
Oh, no.
So there you go. A very innovative, yet shocking, disturbing, if you will, if you're the receiver of a friend request from a future.
Yeah, you're going to look at that. You're going to look at that one and go, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, that is absolutely crazy. But it didn't make our shot of the week. We've got something even crazier ahead. Up next is, well, I'm sure you've heard of all the richest lists, right? The Forbes 400 and things like that.
End of the year's time for lists.
Sure,
so,
it's time for lists. It's easy to do. We should come up with a list, by the way, our end of the year list.
There you go.
But here's one that's fantastic. There's GQ has the most influential list, but they've also come out with the least influential list, which seems like an oxymoron to me, right? The fattest, skinniest person or something like that. I mean, like if you're not influential, why would you even be on the list?
They're still talking about you, even if you're least influential.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, number 3 on the list was Ed Schultz, who's a radio show host as well as on TV. And he took a little exception with that. And let's listen to see what he had to say.
Look, they're going to pick on you. That's the way it is. And I'm okay with that. Just spell the last name right. Now, and I know that Anderson Cooper floats around in that GQ crowd. I don't know if he's behind it or whether they're published at CNN. But let me just say, I'm kicking his ass. By the way, I'm very influential. You can go ask the governor of Ohio, and it won't be long before you can ask the governor of Wisconsin. So kiss my ass, GQ.
So I love it. That's Ed Schultz on taking exception to the fact that he's number 3 on the least influential people. Number 1, Mark, was Tim Pawlenty with his 0.something% of the Republican.
Yeah. Does anyone remember already? I mean, it's he dropped out pretty early, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
He's gone, right?
Yeah.
Out of the
Oh,
race.
yeah.
So, but I'm with Ed. If you're on the list, spell my name right. Thank you very much.
Yep. We're talking about him.
Sure.
See?
Absolutely. I did like the fact that he wants to blame it on Anderson Cooper and thinks he can kick his ass. And I've seen both those guys. I'm pretty sure Ed could take them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's bigger.
That's right. Hey, let's stay in the political theme a bit. And sometimes reality TV and politics collide. And no better example than the following, which is from the Bill Press show, talking about, well, let's listen.
The Republican primary for president has been a running joke from the beginning, but it's finally reached a new low with the announcement that Newsmax is going to be sponsoring a debate on December 27, hosted by none other than Donald Trump. Yeah, what a sick joke. Trump was a monumental embarrassment as a candidate. was finally forced to abandon his campaign when President Obama proved he was a liar over the birth certificate, which was Trump's only issue. And now he's back to hosting his dumb reality TV show, hawking his shirts and ties at Macy's. He has zero credibility as a politician, even less credibility as a journalist. Ron Paul and John Huntsman have said they won't attend that debate. Neither should any other of the other candidates at all. Forget Donald Trump.
Well, I'm with Bill on this one. What a crazy maneuver by the world's biggest media whore, Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And two, I guess Mitt Romney has dropped out too.
Mm-hmm.
So Bill's opinion is probably shared by a handful of the other Republican hopefuls there. Well, you know what? We're on the holiday season. It's in December. And so it's time for talking about Christmas. And we've got some Christmas delights here. First, let's go to KLOS, Los Angeles, the Mark and Brian show, and listen to Blue Christmas like you've never heard it before.
We had a lady call up. She sings a Christmas song, and she's accompanied by her dog. Mm-hmm. Check this out.
This is great.
I'll have a blue Christmas without you. I'll be so blue. He's got stage fright.
Oh, man, it's too good. Do it. Make him do it.
I'm working on it. Okay. I'm a trainer. About you. Come on, baby. With your Christmas of white. Big finish. But I'll have a blue. Come on. Blue.
That's so good.
That's Radio Gold right there.
So there you go. I hope all you people were recording that using DAR.FM so that you can listen to it over and over and impress your holiday fans who come over to your house.
I've never heard that song like that, though. That did not sound like a dog. It sounded like she was herding an elephant seal or something. It was crazy.
That was.
Yeah.
Let's stay on the musical theme. Jump to the Stephanie Miller Show with Cane Train, the 12 Days of Christmas. Well, we're going to give you the abbreviated version starting with...
Very abbreviated, yes.
The fifth day. Let's take a listen.
On the last day of Cane Train, the campaign gave to me 5 allegations, 4 settlements, 3 out of court, 2 holding hands, and there's Becky, stand.
So there you go. I think the humor value for Mr. Kane is about over now that he suspended his campaign.
Just about, but it had the nice Christmas tie, so we like that.
You know, I was curious why he suspended his campaign instead of simply quit.
Well, you know why.
Well, the answer is you're not allowed to quit. There's actually a very lengthy process with the Federal Election Committee that you can't just quit. You have to, there's all these filings and stuff like that. So he was actually forced to, quote unquote, suspend his campaign.
But the advantage with the suspension, though, is you can still keep taking money.
Fair enough. But he had to do it anyways.
Oh, yeah.
So next up, out of Canada, a clip from north of the border, which, of course, DAR has more than 5,000 stations from all over the world. We've got BBC you can record. We've got Canadian stations. Talk radio is huge in Australia. We've got Australian stations. This next clip is from The Edge, 102.1, the Dean Blundell Show.
Excitement turned to pain after a man suddenly received a shotgun blast to the ass while bird hunting with several friends on Sunday. The culprit? Piper the Yellow Labrador. The trigger dog behind the shooting sent his 46-year-old owner to the hospital, somehow caught up in the excitement of the hunt. Piper set off a shotgun that struck the guy in the ass, back, and lower legs. Apparently, someone put their gun down on the ground. That's when Piper started running around, getting all excited. He's like, oh, he's a foot. And he stepped on the trigger and boom, shot the one guy right in the ass who was sitting right in front of the gun. So, yeah.
That's the best. I'm sorry. That is the best story ever.
Bad. 27 buckshot pellets removed from his backside, legs, and testicles.
Oh. Yeah, you neutered me, bitch. I'll neuter you.
So, you know what? I have to say, I'm a bit skeptical of the dog story.
Why?
Well, I have a dog. Have you shot a shotgun?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for the dog to trigger the shotgun, the gun pretty much has to be on the ground.
Well, that's, yeah.
Right. Well, unless the guy is laying down, I don't see how the gun could shoot upwards to the buttock region.
I don't know how it happened either. I'm guessing alcohol's involved somewhere too.
I'm guessing alcohol's involved, but I think the dog is taking a bum rap in this case. I think there's a drunk person out there who's blaming the dog, and of course the guy who was shot, he didn't see it. He was faced away from the gun owner.
Mm-hmm.
I think the dog's getting
yes,
improperly vilified on this one.
I agree.
Now on to Tom Joyner Morning Show. We love Tom Joyner.
This is a great show.
It's always fantastic. It's on Jammin' 98.3 out of Milwaukee. Let's listen.
We did a story yesterday about a 9-year-old boy who was suspended for sexual harassment after he was accused of calling his teacher cute.
To another person, to another kid.
Yeah. 9 years old. 9 years old. He was suspended because he said that his teacher was cute, not even to the teacher. Well, the update is this morning that officials issued a statement Tuesday. It says it is determined that the fourth grader at Brookside Elementary in Gastonia, North Carolina, did not engage in sexual harassment. The statement said the superintendent was attempting to contact the family to issue an apology to the mother.
Attempting? That's tough.
The suspension will not count against the student, and there will be additional instructional assistance provided to the student for the classroom time missed. This was a crazy story anyway.
It was.
You can't call a teacher cute without being accused of sexual harassment?
The boy said he called the teacher cute. The school said he used the word fine.
And that's proper, if you ask me.
A little 9-year-old, she's fine. They never said cute. Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Get suspended for that. That's crazy.
Well,
boy, if schools start suspending every boy who thinks his teacher is fine, there's not going to be many boys left in school.
Yeah, you get in trouble. No more hot for teacher, huh? I mean, it's just, that's a problem, huh?
Right. Well, you know what actually happened? It's a true story. That it was a substitute teacher. And the boy said to his classmate, she's not as cute as the other teacher's, not as fine.
Not as fine.
So it was comparing the two.
Oh, dear. Okay,
You know?
maybe that was the issue, huh?
So we've got anti-bullying where you can't say they're ugly, I guess, and now you can't say they're fine either. It's a crazy
Can't
world.
win.
You can't win. But you can win by listening to Radio Shots, and that's what you're doing. You're listening to Radio Shots. And this is the best from AM and FM radio. Up next, from the Phillips File out of Cocoa Beach, Florida, we've got a clip for you.
Tonight on Drinking with the Stars, Courtney Love knocks back a case of cooking sherry and makes friends at a PTA meeting.
Hey.
Yeah?
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
You're kind of hot.
I'm married.
Oh, no.
I've got herpes.
Me too.
I think I'm going to be sick. That's tonight on Drinking with the Stars.
So there you
Wow,
go.
Drinking with the Stars.
Right, Courtney Love, who is best known for being married to somebody famous.
Mm-hmm. I don't think she'd be famous if she hadn't been, but That's just my opinion.
Right. And she is a mess.
Yes.
She is a tabloid stream. So it's time in our show we just heard our drunken shot of the week.
Yeah, definitely.
And now it's time for our weekly special pot shot. Now we call it pot. It's clearly, it's a double entendre. But in this example, we're leaning more on the hallucinogenic
We're out there.
pot
Yeah.
rather than the criticism pot. We've got Mark and Brian out of KLOS in Los Angeles telling a fantastical tale with Jackie Gleason and Richard Nixon. Here we go.
The story goes that Gleason arrived home unusually late on the evening of February 9th, 1973. Worried, his wife questioned his whereabouts. She said in the interview that his face looked haggard. He said that he had been to Homestead Air Force Base and had actually seen alien bodies. He described them as small, only about 2 feet tall, with bald heads and disproportionately large ears. The story got out. Researchers clamored for information. Gleason wasn't talking. Warren says that on one occasion at Gleason's home in Westchester County, New York, Gleason finally opened up to him about the event after several drinks. Gleason told him that Nixon had arrived at Gleason's home alone in a private car. Nixon told Gleason that he wanted to show him something. Nixon continued to drive Gleason to Homestead. At the gate, a shocked security guard waved them through. They drove to a well-guarded building and walked in. Inside the building were a number of labs, but they eventually arrived at the inner chamber. Here, they found several containers that looked like glass-topped Coke freezers. Inside was what Gleason described as looking like mangled children, but upon closer examination, they were not human and looked quite old. After telling him the details of the visit, Gleason told Warren that he was very upset that the government would not share this information with the public. If the story is true, then for all his faults, Nixon knew how to give a friend a whopper of a present.
So there you go. That's our pot shot of the week. A craziness involving a former president and a drunkard, Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, I like how he opened up after a few drinks and told that story. Yeah.
Sure.
That
Right.
makes sense.
Now, let me ask you, Mark. Aliens, do you believe it? Yes or no?
No.
No aliens?
No.
Do you think there's none in the universe or just none have visited us?
Just none here. Nothing close by.
I have to concur with that. Hey, it's time for the biggest clip, what we call our clip shot of the week. And it is a fantastic one. It's from the Kid Kraddick show, talking about Santa.
What do 30% of women say they most admire about Santa Claus?
He gives presents.
30% of women, what do they most admire about Santa?
He's happy. His generosity.
No, none of those.
Not his beard.
The
reindeer?
His big package.
That he's faithful to Mrs. Claus.
How do they know?
30% of women say they most admire Santa for his monogamy.
That is ridiculous.
Not a lot of women up there in the North Pole.
What about
all the little elf women?
Hold on a second. You're telling me this woman who believes that he leaves for like 2 days every year, that he's like got reindeer.
Right.
I mean, this is the most gullible woman in the world.
Yeah.
Does she really think that he's not messing around?
Wasn't there a song about the little kid who saw grandma kissing
mommy.
Santa Claus.
Mommy,
Yeah. Grandma.
I saw mommy kissing Santa Claus.
I actually think it was Big Al kissing Redneck Steve.
Oh, my bad.
Men admire Santa most for what? His self-employment success.
Yes, entrepreneurial.
Wait a minute.
Ridiculous.
Wait a minute.
I can't believe we're spending time doing this.
Does Santa get paid?
I don't know.
How do you call that
In
self-employment?
cookies and milk.
Man cannot live on cookies and milk alone, Kelly.
He does well.
I admire his beard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
'cause you
cool
can't
crib.
grow one.
He works. He works 2 days out of the year.
That's what I admire.
So there you go. That is our shot of the week. I don't know which survey answer is more crazy. The women who admire his faithfulness or the men who admire the fact that he's self-employed.
We're talking about a guy who doesn't exist, right?
That's right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I do like the fact that he only works 2 days a week. That is, wow, that sounds like a government job. Hey, you've been listening to Radio Shots. We want to thank you for listening in. If you've got a clip that you think deserves some time on the Radio Shots show, drop me email, michael@radioshots.com, and maybe, just maybe, if it's one of the best, we'll showcase it. Thanks again for listening. We will see you on the next episode of Radio Shots. Remember, you can record all these shows and more at dar.fm for free. Thanks for listening.